The Final Four is set to start on Saturday. We got Duke playing Houston, Florida playing Auburn, the four best teams in the country. I wanted to highlight the 10 best players remaining. Let's jump right into it. Number one has to be Cooper Flagg. He's the best player in college basketball. He leads Duke in all five major statistical categories: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. He's going to be the number one overall pick, and he absolutely should be. He's just been on an incredible run since the start of the season. He is, in fact, the solidified number one pick in such a manner that usually, whenever a guy's going to go number one, there's always someone who tries to be a little hot takey and throw out a different name that should go number one. Like, I'm friends with Aaron Torres. That's probably a heavy use of the word, probably more acquaintances. And I remember earlier in the year, he tweeted out that, Ace Bailey, like, maybe he should go number one. And like, that's not even a thing anymore. Whereas like in years past, guys will throw out different names just to be different. That's not happening. Like, that is how good of a player Cooper Flagg is. He is the best player remaining because he does everything so incredibly well. He scores it incredibly easy. He can score in multiple ways. He's shooting like 37% from three on the season, and he's got a nice little pull-up game, and that spin move he uses to get into his jump shot and to get all the way to the rim. He is the best player left. And anytime I have a one-game scenario like we do in March Madness, I like the idea of taking the team with the best player. He's part of why I've got Duke winning the whole thing. I think they beat Houston. I think they beat Florida in the national title game. And I think he's going to be magnificent in both of them because he's just a dog. Like that dude is so freaking competitive. And it's so much fun to watch just this young dude who's younger than literally everyone else. Like, started the year at 17. He reclassified to, eventually get into the NBA a year earlier because that's what it's all about for these guys. And he's bought into everything that Coach Shire has asked him to do. He's defending at a high level, scoring at a high level, running the offense at a high level. And he's doing it all. And he's barely 18 years old playing against, 22 and 23-year-olds. The dude is just magnificent. He's going to be the number one overall pick, and he absolutely should be because of his impact on both ends of the floor. And because of his impact on both ends, he is the best player remaining in the NCAA tournament. Number two on the list, I've got Walter Clayton Jr., Florida guard. Cooper Flagg's the best player remaining. Walter Clayton Jr. is the most entertaining player remaining. His ability to shoot off the bounce. I mean, just go back to that UConn game. The game's tight, and he takes these two hesitation pull-up threes back-to-back from just above the break over on the right wing, and he hits them both. Nothing but net. See you later, UConn. No Sweet 16 for you this year. And then, against Maryland, he scored or assisted on 19 of Florida's final 23 points in the final 5.5 minutes of that game. Okay, like, he is just wildly entertaining. Grabbing a rebound, sprinting straight back, turning, and hitting a fadeaway three to take the lead against Maryland. Like, there is not another guy remaining who can take or make that shot. He's had to put the cape on twice now, and both times, his team has ended up coming out on top once against UConn, hitting those two big threes late, and then that 5.5 minute stretch to close that game against Texas Tech was nothing short of incredible. He's the best point guard in the country just because of the shot making. Love Braden Smith, excellent player, but he's not making shots and getting shots for himself at the same level that Walter Clayton Jr. is. The dude is just an absolute stud. He's the most entertaining player left, but he's the second best player overall. Number three, Johni Broome, Auburn forward, finally had a great game against Michigan State. Like, you saw the full arsenal. He wasn't very good against Creighton, only scored 8 points, had 22 and 16 against Michigan, but he turned the ball over 5 times, wasn't very efficient, 9 of 21 from the field. Then against Michigan State, he goes for 25 points, 14 rebounds, shoots 10 of 13 from the floor. Probably could have gotten 30 if he hadn't gotten hurt, with the elbow thing, but he's healthy. He's going to play. He's going to continue to be, one of the 4 best players in all of college basketball. And he's going to be the guy that Auburn continues to run their offense through. The dude is just an absolute stud, and he should be because he's, 23 years old playing against college kids. Number 4, Kon Kneuppel. I love this dude. probably like too much. I mean, he's gonna play in the NBA for a decade because he's the 6'7" point guard. He's an excellent passer. He can shoot the crap out of the basketball, shooting 40% from three on the season. I mean, this dude is just incredible. And like, sure, he's not a great athlete, but because he's so tall, because he's so long, and because he's just a smart player, it doesn't really hurt him that much on the defensive end. Now, his defensive abilities will be stretched when they play against Houston, but like, he's good enough that if Duke didn't have Cooper Flagg, I think he could lead Duke to a national championship game. We saw him play really well in the ACC tournament, which I get it. The ACC wasn't great this year, but Cooper Flagg out hurt. He didn't play. Kon Kneuppel was like, "That's fine. I'll shoot. I'll take a whole bunch of shots." He puts up 28 points and 8 assists against Georgia Tech. Puts up 17 points against North Carolina, and then in the ACC championship game against Louisville, he goes for 18 points and 8 rebounds. If he wasn't Cooper Flagg's teammate, we would talk about him way more because this guy is undoubtedly going to be a top 10 pick in the upcoming NBA draft. That kid is an absolute stud. Number 5, Milos Uman, however you say it, guard from Houston. Love him. He's awesome. Love his game so much. And I think when people think about Houston, when you look at like the numbers and stuff, LJ Cryer is probably who a lot of people think is the best player. I have him 6th. I have him just behind Uman because Uman is the creator for the Houston offense. Okay, he shoots, 46% from the field. He's at 45% from three. Cryer scores more than Uman because Cryer just takes more shots. He's taken 100 more shots this year than Uman has. Okay, and when you take that many more shots, your scoring average should be a little bit higher. Uman is the leading assist man for Houston. His ability to create off the bounce and still get into his own stuff is really, really impressive. Both he and then number 6 on the list, LJ Cryer. These are the offensive catalysts for Houston. Like, they are why they're as good as they are offensively. Cryer's ability to score is second probably to only Walter Clayton Jr. in terms of doing stuff on your own. But he's just not a very willing passer. I feel like when he catches the ball, it's going up. He's not very efficient when he shoots the ball, only shooting 41% from the floor, but shooting 42% from three. So, hey, do your thing, man. But the offense inside the arc, not great. Doesn't really create for his teammates, but man, like, when that dude's open for three, it's probably going to go down, and he can get into his own stuff from three as well. He's also a little smaller, which I'm not really a fan of. Number 7, I've got Will Richard, Florida guard, struggled against Texas Tech, but he was important in the wins over UConn and Maryland. This is kind of who he is, though. Like, if he was consistent, if he was the best version of Will Richard every single time he walked out onto the floor, he'd be a top 5 player left in the Final Four. But he's not. He's up and he's down. And when he's playing his best and he's Florida's second best player, that is the version of Florida that is good enough to win the whole thing. But when he's not that version, like he was against Texas Tech, where he only scores 6 points and shoots 29% from the field, then you're in danger of losing. That's just the reality of it when it comes for Florida. Will Richard is the guy that when he plays well, he really puts them over the top of some of these other teams. Number 8, Tahaad Pettiford, Auburn guard. He is Auburn's Will Richard. When Tahaad Pettiford is Auburn's second best player, they are more than good enough to win the whole thing. He is this dynamic, fearless scoring guard that comes off the bench for Auburn. I believe he was the second-ranked point guard in the country coming out of high school this year. He's a really good athlete. He's, takes and makes big shots. His play is a large reason why Auburn is in the Final Four. They don't beat Creighton without him. They don't beat Michigan without him. Okay, he wasn't as impactful against Michigan State, but you had an awesome game from Johni Broome, and Michigan State can't shoot. So that made it a little bit helpful. But, if he plays a normal game, if he doesn't struggle the way that he did against Michigan State, then they run Michigan State out of the building. Okay, like, the best version of Tahaad Pettiford allows Auburn to be a team that is good enough to win the whole thing, and they're going to need him to be that if they're going to beat Florida on Saturday. Number 9, I got Khaman Maluach. I always butcher his name, so I'm sorry, Duke fans. He's big, 7'2" center, very athletic. Like, if he gets switched onto a guard and he's defending on the perimeter, A lot of times in college basketball, I'm like, well, this isn't going to end well for this big guy. But with him, there's this confidence that I have in him that like he's actually going to be able to move his feet and at least make things tough. Like he's still probably going to get beat because he's 7'2" and he's guarding a small, quick guard. But I have more confidence in him than I do any other 7-footer in all of college basketball to make things difficult. He's also a great rim protector, averaging 1.3 blocks per game. Is another guy who's probably going to be a lottery pick because this dude's going to anchor an NBA defense for a decade. That's how good he is on that end of the floor. And then, obviously finishes very well around the rim. He has good touch, shooting 76% from the field on the year. Love his game. It's hard to not like him on both ends of the floor. Number 10, I've got Joseph Tugler, Houston Ford. Fittingly, for the team with, the nation's best defense, Houston, when you look at KenPom, a player who only averages 5.5 points per game belongs on this list. He's going to be first team all defense for absolutely everything that he can be. He should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year in college basketball. That's how good of a defender he is. His ability to just blow up, screen and roll, because he's this big athletic forward who can guard multiple positions, and he's athletic and he rebounds. And I'm so intrigued to see how he deals with Cooper Flagg, the best player in the country, a guy that I highlighted earlier. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait for that game. More specifically, I can't wait for that matchup because Tugler's defensive prowess allows him to be one of the 10 best players in the Final Four. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video, probably some more NBA stuff. And of course, I'm going to do a full Final Four breakdown as well of both of the games. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to tune in. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.